Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Tim Pham.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Tom Sherry. Well, there is a brand new warming center. It has launched for families in need this winter. The new facility is run by Catholic Charities in Spokane.
Yeah, and KREM 2's Brandon Jones went to go check out how the center is helping people in our community.
So I'm walking up to the newest warming center that's opened up here in Spokane, and this is a shelter that provides for families. The children who need a place to sleep at night and the mothers who care for them can come here and find a warm, safe environment to lay their heads. With its opening, it completes the city's plan for tackling homelessness during these winter months. A part of that plan was the South Cannon Warming Center that officially opened back in November. Since they've been open, the center has been able to house 85 people each night. I spoke with the director of this new center on the phone. We discussed what kind of impact it'll have on the community.
The really key piece is that we've hired a caseworker whose full-time job is to ensure that we help these families find permanent housing as quickly as possible.
The center can hold 50 people each night, and it's located on the Rising Strong campus of the Catholic Charities. Dawn tells me the building is a former art studio that was converted into what it is today. Fold-out mats are used as mattresses, and there's even a comfort area for any young children.
We're partnering closely with Family Promise as they will eventually have extended capacity in their building, but until that time, we wanted to ensure that no child was sleeping outside.
As of now, the center will remain open until the end of March. The goal for any family that resides there is to ultimately get them out in a better position leaving than when they first arrived. From Spokane, Brandon Jones, KREM 2 News.
Brandon, thank you. Well, the search for 2 missing Idaho children continues. 3 different government agencies are investigating their disappearance.
Throughout the process, many have been confused by the complicated family dynamics that seem to be connected to the case. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez took a closer look.
First, Chad Daybell's wife, 49-year-old Tammy Daybell, died. The police didn't think anything suspicious of her death at the time, so the now widowed Chad Daybell moved on to marry Lori Vallow, who is the mom of the 2 kids that are now missing. They got married just weeks after his first wife's death. Now, this part of her timeline is a little iffy. The sheriffs think at some point someone pulled the now missing kids out of school to be homeschooled. Then, while police looked more into the first wife's death, they noticed that Chad Daybell's now stepchildren were missing. The children's mom and stepdad told police that the kids were staying with a family friend, but police found out that that was a lie, tried to contact the couple again, and haven't seen them since.
Well, authorities say that Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell have been uncooperative with the investigation. A relative of the kids says they believe that the parents have, quote, cult-like religious beliefs that may be related to the case.
Yeah, the parents released a statement through their lawyer saying they look forward to addressing the allegations against them and they love their son and daughter. Rumors about their case are disseminating wildly online, and the Fremont County Sheriff says that's not helping anyone.
For any kind of an investigation to go forward, we need to have facts. And certainly if somebody has some information that is factual or knows where we can obtain evidence, we would be very interested in knowing about that. Social media does tend to lend itself to lots of gossip, which doesn't really help anybody.
Well, the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, the Rexburg Police Department, and the FBI are investigating the disappearance. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of the kids or information on Tammy Daybell is asked to contact investigators at any of those agencies.
Back here at home, Spokane police are investigating a woman's death after shots were fired at a Hilliard apartment complex this morning. Police say they detained a man who was walking down the street covered in blood. They also found an infant who was alive and unharmed in the apartment. Roads were blocked in that area this morning as authorities investigated. As we learn more information, we'll be sure to pass it along to you on KREM.com. Well, Tom, what's the weather going to be like leading up to the rest of this year and next New Year?
Well, what we're talking about is snow on the way. We might get a little bit of snow just in time for your morning commute. Right now, we're down to 31 degrees, so we've dropped below freezing. When we take a look at the radar picture, you can see a little bit of very, very light snow across extreme northeastern Washington into northern Idaho. But the next system is on the way again in the overnight hours and tomorrow morning. There's that light snow that I was talking about. Again, that's not even really slowly accumulating. For the weekend, we'll look for a daytime high of 35. Sunday, then snow begins Saturday night into Sunday before it possibly changes to snow. We'll look for a high, or to rain, I should say, as Sunday's high climbs to 37. But again, for your morning commute tomorrow, we're looking for up to an inch of snow in Spokane. Could see 1 to 2 inches of snow in North Idaho or some of those valleys in northeastern Washington.
All right, Tom, thank you. Well, sadly, it's time to start thinking about taking down your Christmas tree. And there are a couple of different ways you could go about it. The city of Spokane is offering free curbside pickup for customers from today until January 10th.
Now, they're only going to accept fresh cut trees without decorations on them, and they need to be under 6 feet tall. City and county residents can also take their trees to any of the facilities listed on your screen there for a small fee. For a complete list of disposal options, just head over to our website. That's KREM.com.
And Tom, you taught us a life hack. If it's over 6 feet, just give it a little chop.
Give it a little chop, cut it in half.
Yeah. Well, it's not quite so cold down in Phoenix, where the Cougars are playing the Air Force Academy tomorrow in the Cheez-It Bowl.
Our KREM 2's Brenna Green is standing by and got to catch up with the Cougs this afternoon. Brenna.
Tim and Tom, today was our last chance to talk to the Cougs before they kick off tomorrow in the Cheez-It Bowl. What's interesting is that even though the Cougs have had a bit of a down year, there still is some history on the line for tomorrow. The first bit of history for tomorrow is that if the Cougs win, it will be the first time in program history WSU has won back-to-back bowl games. Pretty crazy that that's never been done before. It means a lot to this team to get a win tomorrow, and even doubly more because they want to make history.
It means the world to us because now we have a chance to end on that winning season. It's like, what do we want to be remembered as? Do we want to be remembered as the team that goes 6-7, or do we want to be remembered as the only team in Washington State history to win 2 bowl games in a row?
Just showing how we compete throughout the entire season. It's inspiring to recruits that we're going to go out there and give it our all on our 13th game or 14th, whatever. So I think it's a big step in the right direction for this program if we can go back to back and be the first ones in school history to do so.
That's not the only bit of history on the line tomorrow. Anthony Gordon is 606 yards away from breaking the NCAA single season passing yards record, excuse me. It's going to be a tall task for Gordon to throw for that many yards, but he has done it before this season. Ironically, he threw for exactly 606 yards against Oregon State, his highest single game performance of the year. Anthony always brushes aside questions about him breaking the record, though, always deferring to his wide receiver core, saying this record is truly theirs.
It would mean a lot. It would mean a lot to the receivers, especially since we aren't really an offense that just peppers the ball to one or two receivers. Everyone kind of gets the ball, so the receivers take a lot of pride in it. Since everyone gets the ball, they love seeing the passing numbers go up, and they know it's a reflection of our receiving core and how hard they work. So, I'm excited for it too. But I like to see the receivers get their stats up and make them happy.
It'll be awesome. His name will be in the books forever. So, being older and being able to tell, my grandchildren about him, that I know him. That was my quarterback, so that'd be pretty cool.
Guys, I think you cursed me with the weather comment because it just started raining and going windy like crazy here. So just bear with me through this next part. One thing that will be interesting for both offenses tomorrow is how they perform against the other's defense, because it could be kind of rough to begin the game, at least from a defensive standpoint. That's because both of these rosters are built insanely differently. Air Force's offensive players are recruited for the triple option, while WSU's offensive players are recruited for the air raid. That means that the scout teams, their defenses have practiced against probably aren't really close to either squad. Either squad's potential, I should say. Expect a high-scoring affair to start this contest. I asked Air Force today about trying to replicate the Cougs offense. There seems to be a little bit of concern.
The offensive guys, the scout team, they came here to play triple option offense, and now they're running spread or empty or whatever Wazoo's going to throw at us. So it's they do the best they can, and I think we have got a pretty good look this week. But of course, at the same time, you can't replicate that in the same way that our opponent's going to.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of facets. Not only the throwing and the catching part of it when it comes to pitching and catching, but up front. I mean, we're not even close to. We're the smallest offensive line in college football, and then when it's our younger guys and they average about 265 pounds, that's not quite what we're going to run into tomorrow night when it's 325 pounds.
I'm pretty sure I look like Medusa out here right now. WSU seemed a lot less concerned about Air Force's about the scout team for Air Force, but I still think it's going to be a shock to WSU's system once the game starts tonight at 6. I interview our sister station in Colorado Springs about this Air Force offense and give you a little bit more insight on their team. Reporting in Phoenix, I'm Brenna Green, KREM 2 Sports.
Medusa, Brennan. No, I think she looks like a model with the
hair blowing. But you go to Phoenix, you're hoping for warm weather and sunshine. But
she's wearing
they got a bit of a storm moving through there right now.
Yeah, and it's funny you said Air Force against the Air Raid.
Yeah.
So Brennan will break down more coming up tonight at